Hey, I'm Andrew.
Hey, I'm Erika.
We're in a bar in Manhattan. We have Erika's ultimate free watch collection here. You're gonna have to watch the video to find out what it is. If you live in America and you're into watches, you have to check out Time+Tide. This is our new clubhouse, 460 Broome Street, Soho, in an emerging watch district. There's so many shops around here, but nothing like this. We're one level up above the street. It's super serene and calm. We have all the impossible to get watches from the internet here, as well as events and launches. Brands like Studio Underdog, Furlan Murray, Erika, Baltic, Christopher Wood, all the brands you've seen on your watch-loving friends' wrists are here to try on and to buy. And in the city that never sleeps, we don't either. We're open 7 days a week from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. So come on down to Time+Tide, New York, 460 Broome Street, 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. We'll see you at Time+Tide, New York. Right now.
We are at a bar called The Jeffrey.
The Jeffrey. It's almost like calling your dog Michael. It's an odd way to name a bar, but it's got some vibe. It feels like we're in a movie set. And today, Erika, what are we up to?
We're talking about 3 watches in my collection, which I'm really excited to share with you today. I had zero kind of intention on putting this together, which probably—
Oh, stop it.
No,
That's like when you come out like dressed to the nines. Oh, this old thing, I just threw this together. This is a very thoughtful collection. We're going to get into this. But to explain why this is happening, we are opening a Discovery studio in New York soon. I'm freaking out as it gets closer, and I'm thinking, I need to turn these friends that I've made over the years, including Erika, I want to get to know them, and I want it to go from a collection to a connection.
I love that. There is no better way to get to know someone than knowing about their watch collection and why they chose it, the stories behind them.
But let's talk about you, Erika. You are obviously a presence on Instagram, and you've come up quickly. We're so happy to see fresh faces and women. Just straight up, more women, please. Dilute this male fest that currently is the watch world. You know, we've had Georgia in today, we've got Kathleen over there, we've got you here. This is what we want at our Discovery Studios as well. But tell me, what would people know you from if they've kind of seen you around Instagram? Like, you've had some big moments, but what are the things that people kind of know about you, and what don't they know about you?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. So for the people who do know me, it's probably from my Instagram handle, which is WatchMissGMT. So if you love food, travel, and watches, and just kind of like a day in the life, like, give it a look. If you find this chat interesting. Probably people most notably know me for my Japanese independent watch collection. I love to travel, so my handle is WatchMissGMT. Obviously, GMT is kind of the focus there. I love travel. So you'll often catch me in a different country. So I'm glad you're bringing other countries to New York,
yes.
Which is amazing.
Why travel? Just stay in New York and shop at Time+Tide.
Yeah. Still travel, but you can also visit in New York. So I love to travel for watches, and that sort of is how I got into Japanese independence. Started seeing German watchmaking, Swiss watchmaking, and obviously you can see it here in New York as well, but I love where all of those intersect. So that's kind of how it all started behind the name WatchMissGMT.
Awesome. And that is something I didn't know. I didn't realize. I mean, it's a vibrant account. There's lots of stuff happening. Follow that at WatchMissGMT. But let's talk, as you said, we like to get to know each other through the watches. What is happening here? Where do you want to start? Because you've kind of just gone, bang, here they all are. Like, sometimes it's unveiling them, but they're all out there. Tell me the intentional, what is the strategy behind these 3? Why'd you choose these ones?
Oof, there is no strategy, like I said, behind these 3. And my collection, it's a little eclectic. It's a little bit all over the place.
That's totally cool, by the way. I also don't have a strategy.
There's no rhyme or reason. I hope, knock on wood, I have my whole lifetime to continue to collect. So there's pieces I aspire to have one day, but they might not necessarily be in my collection right now. There's a lot of exploration too. I'm fascinated by horology, so it's, you can't have them all, and that's what makes it tough to choose. But we can start center stage here with the Rolex Submariner. So this is known as the Starbucks because of its black dial and green ceramic bezel. and this was actually my first big girl watch. So
Big girl watch, I like that.
big girl watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, the career was going well, got a promotion. I was like, it's time for a big girl watch and to upgrade. So I actually initially went in for a green oyster perpetual because green is my favorite color. And I think that's where most people start, right? You know, in terms of a watch style, probably starting with your favorite color. And I went in and I like that watch. I still love it on other people, but it just didn't fit me and my personality and my vibe. And I was so disappointed. Like I was so excited.
You were set. You knew, was it the lacquer dial or the Sunray olive dial?
It was the lacquer dial. Yeah. Yes. And so I actually saw this across the room on a sales associate's wrist, and I said,
sounds like a start of a romance story.
Yeah, and she was actually a woman wearing a sub. So it's traditionally a men's watch, and you know, so they didn't show it to me initially. And I was like, but that's green. Can I see it? And she actually had to. So one of my favorite things about this watch is actually that it has an extension, which is called the Glidelock. And so she had to take it off her wrist and kind of morph it to fit it on my wrist. And the second she put it on my wrist, it felt like a superpower.
Let's see it. Let's recreate that moment.
Absolutely. So literally, she put it on, and I felt powerful.
Okay.
Like it felt like I was a superhero now. Like I put on the magic cuffs and like I was invincible.
You know, I got mocked for saying that on A Matter of Time. People were like, this dude has to wear watches to feel powerful. I'm like, yeah, I do. Like some days you do.
Some days you absolutely do.
Yeah. Do you have a problem with that? Talk to me in the comments. I'm not done with you, whoever said that.
I agree. I mean, honestly, I look forward to putting this watch on my wrist almost every morning, and it makes you...
Can I say, like, when I picked this up just now, I'm like, that's the thing I miss. At the moment, no current modern Rolex in my collection. I miss the bracelet so much. It's the best bracelet, easily, ever. Anyway, that's that. Okay, strong start. I mean, I don't imagine anyone's going to be like, that's not super contentious. But what days do you pick it up?
Honestly, so many. So I wear it, I think, a lot more in summer with water activities, but it's quite a daily. I love the way it looks with jeans. I like the way it looks dressed up, which is not really status quo. So again, don't at me in the comments, but I think you can dress it up.
I'm going to at you in person because I hate submariners with suits. It's just it's a no. Do you have an issue with a man in a submariner in a suit?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I don't.
Good. I mean, we live to, you know.
But I will ask him
diversity
about
of opinion.
His collection.
Okay. All right, so we're off to a strong but conventional start. Let's go. Give me something else.
All right. Next, we'll move into more New York. So again, I mentioned New York is kind of a hub for watches, and it holds a very special place in my heart because of the watch community, which is why I started my channel to begin with, because I was desperately seeking when I first got into watches, and you know, you caught the bug and you just want to talk about it with people. You want to share stories and different watches that you're seeing and discovering. So I really wanted that discourse. So I thought, hey, if you start a social media profile, you're probably going to meet people with a similar interest in the hobby that you're into. So this is a New York City limited edition called the Manhattan, which was a collaboration between Fears and Studio Underdog, part of their O2 series, and it was released here in New York in 300 pieces. It's based off of the cocktail, the Manhattan, which you can clearly see when you look at the dial. But what I like about this watch most is the modern approach to design and innovation. So how they constructed this like very dimensional dial, which you'll probably see closer up in a bit, is it's basically the base layer is radial steel. So it has like a pattern on the steel underneath, which you can't see to the eye.
Did you know that? I didn't know that.
Yes, but then they layered on the dial, which you see an amber, it's 1 millimeter thick, which is quite large for a watch dial, of amber sapphire, which is giving it that like hue. But because of the radial steel,
it does kind of make you want an old-fashioned or a whiskey or something.
It looks like you're looking straight through the glass of bourbon, which is what I love.
So at the moment, Erika, I'm trying to find someone to interview that hasn't been involved in a Studio Underdog prank. Have I succeeded?
Yes.
No, I haven't, because you were in one too.
The reveal of this watch, yes.
You just straight lied to me. You definitely were involved in a Studio Underdog prank.
Well, we have to keep it under wraps, you know.
Okay,
we couldn't see
true.
what was in it.
It might have been an accidental thing, but Erika filmed Richard and Nicholas meeting, which might have been absolutely authentic. It might have just happened like that.
Right place, right time in New York City. You can't be exchanging secrets out in public like that.
Yeah, wow, what a watch. I think this is part of a series. There was the Gimlet, there was the Manhattan, and there was the Mimosa. One question, why do people in Manhattan drop the tease? They go Manhattan. The tease just disappeared. You just said it. Is it the what's happening there?
Manhattan. Yeah.
Oh no, you just put them back in.
Okay, interesting. We're gonna have to rewind that.
Manhattan. Anyway, I've got to get used to saying it like that. But I've noticed that people in New York drop the tease. On our right, this is some fire. Are you ready for some fiery fire, some heat? Tell me about this spectacular thing.
Bringing the heat here. So again, if you're following me, you know that I love Japan. It's my favorite country, and Tokyo is one of my favorite cities. Culture, food, everything, lifestyle. So I got really deep into Japanese independence in my collecting. So this is a watch brand called Naoya Hida, and this specific watch is the 4A. And
it looks like it doesn't have a crystal.
I know. So it's actually vintage inspired. So Mr. Hida-san, he's worked for a lot of Swiss watch brands like VC, JLC, even Journe, and he wants to take that vintage Swiss aesthetic and put that Japanese kind of secret flair on it. So it's meant to look like a vintage crystal.
Yes, and actually under these lights, it disappears completely. This is a trip. You actually feel like you're looking at a watch with no sapphire glass.
And this watch in particular, you could stare at for like days and notice more details the more you look at it, which is the most impressive because it looks initially very simple and classic to the eye, but there are so many details in this watch. Yeah. It is very satisfying to look at.
And the numerals are quite deeply engraved, which means that when you look at them flush, they just are solid, but then when you look at it from the side, you see the shadows and the light play created by the engraving. The blued seconds hand, this is just smoke show. How do you get one? And because it's quite hard to get these sort of brands, isn't it? There's still a JDM vibe, Japanese domestic market vibe with so many Japanese brands.
Yes, so I was very, very lucky. I went to the Armory and they host trunk shows with Naoya Hida. So the whole team will fly in and sort of show their watch collection. So that's where I saw it for the first time. I went in, with a very open mind and like Cinderella shoes. Sometimes you put a watch on and it's just like it fits. And ask questions because it was so beautiful and so precise. So the numerals that you fell in love with, the Arabic numerals, are actually hand engraved, which is wild to me because when you see this watch close up, it looks like perfection machined. Mm-hmm. So the fact that this was done by hand, it just will blow your mind.
The precision is, it goes without saying that, whether it's knife craft, whether it's sushi itself, whether the precision and the minute sort of mechanics required, this is a part of Japanese culture. But this watch, spectacular. How much is this watch?
So this watch probably in US dollars is around like 18.5, depending on the conversion and currency at the time. But the best part about it is the manual wind. So I almost never wind it to all the way to full because it's quite an experience. There's a click.
This is my first ever wind of a Naoya Hida. Ooh.
It's very much like that vintage aesthetic where you feel it, you hear it, and it just makes you feel like a part of the watch, and it's a full experience.
Yeah, but I know what you mean. What's that? Oh yeah, I'm going to put up to the lapel. Good one, Marcus. It's almost like you've done this before. Oh, you hear that though? And there's a little bit of spring back.
Yes.
Which you get from more from vintage. Okay. Erika smashed the assignment. I'm just going to put it out there. And if I can be honest, it's chaotic. There's no sort of this for this and this for this and this for this. It's like, I love this one, I love this one, I love this one. When do you wear them? When I want to. I relate to that far more than Derek. I love your collection. So strategic, so intentional, so cerebral, so nothing like I can relate to. This, however, is me. It's total chaos. I love it. Micro brand, the biggest brand in the world, 33% of the Swiss watch industry, and then a Japanese brand no one can get. I love that. What do you think? How did Erika go with the assignment? Just be kind, but be honest. It's kind of,
It's wild.
You crushed it. Tell me, what have I underestimated about New York? Like, what am I doing here? We're about to open a Discovery studio. Tell me, give me some advice. Give me some words from the wise.
Absolutely. New York. So that is actually one of the reasons I have 2 of the watches here today.
See what you did there.
Exactly. New York is one of the best places, I think, in the watch community. So I actually don't live in New York, and I come to New York frequently because of watches and the watch community here in New York. So I think in opening up the new shop, you're going to be pleasantly surprised how many watch weirdos are out there and gonna plop in.
My people.
Exactly. I feel like it's a disease, and you just being there is going to be a big cause of the infection and infecting everyone into watch collecting.
Jesus Christ, this has got very sort of pandemic related. But like, what do you want from us? What do you think is going to be added to the scene by a place where a lot of these watches that I know you love are going to be more available? What does that change about the scene?
So it's actually like relatively difficult, I think, to access some of the brands that you carry, as well as seeing limited editions by the brands. A lot of them are global. So unless you're in that country when they release it, it's hard to get hands-on. So I think Time+Tide moving to New York City is going to give all the New York City watch collectors a chance to experience the watches that they might not otherwise get to see.
Tell me, what's the craziest thing you've done for a watch, to get a watch?
The craziest thing I've done to get a watch? Honestly...
You went to Japan.
Yes, I did go to Japan to get a watch. So getting on a flight for a watch is not beyond me at all. Even just to see a watch that I've never seen before. Like,
you'll travel.
I will travel.
Have interest, will travel.
Will travel for watches. So that's probably the craziest thing, because most people probably won't do that, I guess. But to me, it seems normal because I love to travel so much. So I'm like, any excuse, I'm there.
Yeah, I must go and see that watch in Guatemala. Lastly, like, everyone comes to watches initially thinking that it's about the watches. But they always say after a while, oh, I started out being into it for this, but then this is what keeps me in it. What is the thing that keeps you so passionate, so addicted, so visible?
Like you said, it's that connection in the community. So that's why I started my channel, to interact more with the community, because it's very boring when it's just by yourself or with a few people. So when you expand that, you learn about brands you've never heard of before. You get to see and try on watches that you might not have exposure to. And even if there's discourse, because we don't agree on a watch, like, that makes it fun. So it's sort of the people, and that's what digs the grave deeper and deeper, because you literally just, it's nonstop. It takes over.
If you want to bring your collection in to Time+Tide New York and meet Zach or myself or Andy or Sam or the whole Time+Tide New York team, please do. Our living room is your living room. Thanks for watching Time+Tide, Erika. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you so much. And you never know, you might see a watch influencer there at some point.
Do you mean you?
Possibly.
You absolutely are expected to be there. No, I hope you do turn up. Thanks for watching Time+Tide. Let us know your 3-watch collection below. Are you also chaotic like me and Erika? Yeah. See you on the next one. Woo!